beginning, like, still talking. Hey, everybody. It is April. Yes, I said April 21st, 2026. We're almost halfway through the year, everybody, if you didn't know. This is your Women of FWA live Q&A. I have Ken Cove here today. I have Noah and Jared. We had the opportunity of really getting to know these two gentlemen at Demo Days in Las Vegas,
Florida.
Yes. Welcome.
I was at both.
Yeah. You were, actually. Okay. Apparently words aren't my friend today, so let's get started. Who is Ken Cove, for anybody who doesn't know?
So
Ken Cove. Oh, nope, Jared, you've got it. Go ahead.
It's a distributor of fence supplies, and we are predominantly agriculture. But we are getting into chain link, we're getting into board fence, we're trying to just get into as much of that market as we can. We have locations all over the United States. Noah and I are out of our Blairsville, Pennsylvania branch, which is our main one. And then we have Caldwell, Iowa. We have Earl Park, Indiana. We have Peculiar, Missouri. And we have Eastman, Georgia, which also doubles as a post mill for us to make our wood fence posts.
Fancy. Okay, so you said you specialize in ag fence, but is there like a specialization or something like really niche inside of that?
So the original Ken Cove kind of business plan, if you will, came from the Kendall family here in Blairsville, wanting something different than the barbed wire fences that ag had at the time. And so they kind of brought this new high tensile fence wire technology in from New Zealand. And so the kind of bread and butter is high tensile fence wire.
Fancy. All the words I don't know. How about you, Michaela? You know a little bit about high tensile?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know all about it.
I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit. How long have you guys been involved in hands-on training and installs? Because we got to see it firsthand at Demo Days. You have Kiwi School this week. All the exciting things. Brian's actually flying out tomorrow. He's so excited. Can't wait. How long have y'all been in that process?
Good deal. So Ken Cove itself has been involved pretty much since its creation. Kiwi Fence School has been around a long time. We really prioritize the customer's hands-on experience and giving them the materials and the tools and the training that they need to get the job done. So we've been involved as a company probably since around 1980 when it was started. I personally have been involved with Ken Cove for almost a decade now, and pretty much the entire time have had a hand in one way or the other. So it's been a long time.
I love that.
And I've been with Ken Cove just about a year now, and So Noah, he's humble. He didn't mention it. He does some ag fencing on the side. So he's not only working his 9 to 5 in this industry, but he's working his weekends and his summers in this industry as well. I come from ag. I do not necessarily come from ag fencing, other than just doing it for ourselves. We have beef cattle and horses, and so we've got obviously all them fenced in. But as far as my installation and my background in the ag fence, it's really just been for me what we have to do for our place.
I mean, so speaking of installation, you guys were at demo days. You didn't just show up to demo days. You actually built a fence on site. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the typical show demo is kind of you show up, you pound some posts, you talk about it, and you rip it out and leave it. Well, Jared and I were talking about what we want to do and how we want to do it. Well, we're already going to be down there. We're already going to have the post in the ground. We might as well build something that we can have some hands-on experience. People can walk up and see it, and we can leave it. We'll put it in a beneficial spot for the landowner, and it'll be there for 30 years. So.
No, I love that. And then, so what goes into like this type of planning, like planning an install? What do you have to do? Who do you have to talk to? Let's talk about that a little bit.
This was a little tough, not having a hands-on site or really any clue what we were getting into. I'm a big redundancy guy. 2 is 1, 1 is none. So we just kind of had a broad idea of what we wanted to do, and we took twice as much of everything as we would need and that we would possibly run into. And Jared and I just kind of sat down, got a rough game plan together, and improvised from there.
No, that's so cool. At one point, I remember driving by, I got on the walkie and they were like, the Kenco guys, we need water and snacks. And I was like, on it. And we came up in like our golf cart that we had stolen from somebody and like threw bags at them of like drinks and snacks. So it was really cool
you were
to see you guys build. Good. No, so it was super cool. And it's great for attendees too to actually watch and participate.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, they can learn a lot, right? Of how you guys operate and install.
Yeah, and a big thing for us was we wanted people to be able to see it, and we didn't, like Noah said, just want to do the usual, hey, here's a post, we'll pound this post in the ground, we'll pull this post out of the ground, We all have seen that. We all know, the very basic fundamentals of building a fence. But it was the kind of getting that live show going, having people walk up and say, oh, hey, I don't do ag fence. Why do you guys do this? Or, oh, I do this, but I use a different technique. And, why this technique versus that technique. And it's really just, you got to get the conversation going, but people don't know what they want to talk about or what they want to ask about until they see something. So.
I agree completely. So I feel like we've touched a lot of the things that we were already kind of planning on going like step by step. So I want to jump into why is it important for companies in the industry to give back in practical ways? What y'all did.
I think it's obviously important to get your name out there. I mean, that's the business name of the game, if you will, is how are people going to know who you are, what you have, and what you can do for their business or their farm or whatever they're doing. So if you're not getting your name out there, you're not doing yourself any favors, because who's going to know who you are and what you've got? But also on the other hand of that, it's just, we want to be a company that does good things and cool things and has a positive impact. And actually, Noah and I probably next week are going to do a very similar project where a farm kind of lost some of their stuff in a big fire. And we're just going to go up there and get them some material and get them some stuff set up so that, they don't have animals running all over the place. And, it's just kind of one of those things where you do good because it's the right thing to do, but also you want to make a good impression for those people so that they want to put your name out there for you.
Yes, that family will never forget that. That farm will never forget it. Honestly, the property that we were at for demo days, 23 acres farms, will never forget that fence. That was a life-changing moment for them. I think whenever y'all had reached out to me and asked if there was a place that you could build something, and I reached out to him, he was very hesitant. And then he started seeing the pictures, and then he started doing the research on you guys. And he was very ecstatic, very excited, super blessed, like by the entire process. Noah, what does community look like in the fencing world from your perspective?
Well, that's what it is, and not to be, cliche, but it is a very unique industry in that it is, in a way, a big family. Yes, there's competition. Yes, there's drive. But at the end of the day, we're all there to drive the overall quality of work and to help each other out at the same time. And those things can go hand in hand. There's not a lot of other industries that are they're not cutthroat. Like, yeah, we are competitors. Whatever. We can have good, honest competition, but at the end of the day, we're all here for the same goal. And if you don't have that goal, what are you even doing?
No, I love that. I love that you guys give back to the community. Speaking of community and defense community, let's talk about Kiwi School. Education, fence education. Tell us about it. It's this week, right?
Yeah. Yep. It actually starts tomorrow morning. Yep. 7 a.m. bright and early. So it's kind of an introduction for not only just contractors, but farmers as well, who are just trying to do better work. We'll give them the foundation, the fundamental skills, and there's always going to have to be improvising. Nothing will ever go as planned. You will always have to improvise something. But if we give you the base, the solid foundation of time-tested tricks, and just you'll be set. You can improvise anything off of that. So we really try and hit on, the bases of high tensile, woven wire, how to set up electrics. We just want to give everyone the best understanding of the time-tested fundamentals and basics possible, and give you some experience on what we've run into. I mean, everybody has different experiences, and I've had some curveballs thrown my way. I know Jared has, and at the end of the day, you just got to sit down and figure it out and work through it. And when we share those experiences, everybody can learn something.
No, totally. Attending this, is it something for professionals or beginners or both, or who goes?
We see a mixture of both. It's always fun to see how it pans out, because there's always an odd mixture of it. We always get, actually last year, I think it was almost all contractors that had come in, and we had one or two landowners who had big jobs planned, and they wanted to know how to do it right and not touch it again for the rest of their lives. So there's always that big mix of people wanting to know different ways to do things. We've had contractors that have been in business for 20 years come. And then we've had people who have never touched a fence before in their entire life. And it's always a unique mix, and it's a fun, fundamental, difference there. And everyone shares their experiences. And like I said, at the end of the day, everyone learns something. We learn something every year.
I love that. Definitely a mix. And we saw that even at demo days, right? A mix of all different people, different levels. 1 to 2 key skills, though, that you think people walk away with after attending the school.
I'll tell you what, I'll give my one, and I'll pass it over to Jared, and he can give his view too. We'll bounce it around. Really, my big thing, and I know I'm repeating myself, is this will be a 2-part. Being prepared for anything and able to improvise with what you have is really the main things that we go for. We'll teach the fundamentals, like I said, but we'll go through a lot of ways to keep those fundamentals intact while working through problems and just solving whatever comes your way.
And on my note, like Noah said, we see a large variety. There's people that have never fenced. There are people that do some fencing around their own property, but they don't do it, as a business. There are professionals that have been in the industry for years. And I am a hands-on learning type of person. And the benefit that I see from fence school is, and I've noticed, some people really have a good handle on what they're doing and why they're doing it. And some people have a really good handle on what they're doing, but they've never really thought about why they're doing it. They do it because that's how somebody told them to do it, and that's just the way it is. But what I like about the fence school is not only like okay, here's what you're going to do, and here's the reason you're going to do it, and why that helps your fence, makes your fence stronger, whatever it is. What the method is behind the madness, basically.
Yeah, we see a lot too of time savings, ways to improve how quickly, but also how efficiently and the quality of work you're doing. That's what a lot of people come through, and we'll show them little tricks, little tools, and it's like, oh my gosh, if I had that 5 years ago, I would have saved hundreds of hours. It's like, oh, that's why you're here.
Very cool. I agree with both of you. I think the hands-on training is valuable. It can't be replaced. You can't learn from watching a YouTube video. It's something I'm trying to teach my kid every day. Like, you can watch 1,000 YouTube videos, but can you do it? So at some point, we have to recognize that you just got to go out and do it, right?
Yep.
So what is one mistake you see people make when building fence?
Underbuilding braces. That's probably my main thing. That's your cornerstone. That's your rock. If you don't set that tight, and if you don't set it right, everything fails from there. It's always better over than under, and understanding, like Jared was saying, not only, yes, this is the right way to do it, but why you're doing it is huge. So that, you drive down the countryside, you'll see an endless amount of corner posts yanked the whole way out of the ground. And it's just, every time I see it, I should just stop and fix that, because it's driving me up a wall looking at it. But that's my main.
On the same note, I actually was also thinking about braces, but more specifically, and I know Noah and I had this conversation actually in Florida at demo days, but especially with the H braces and the fence we built for the property there in Florida, those H braces have a diagonal wire in them. And back to you drive past the farm and the corner post is pulling out. I've gotten to the point where anytime I drive past fence, I look, because that diagonal has to go a certain direction. And what people don't understand about that is, if you put it on, but it's the wrong direction, it's doing the exact opposite of what you want it to do. Because you want that wire to pull your post down in when there's tension on the fence. And if it's backwards, then it pulls the post up when there's tension on the fence. So you go down and you see these corner posts, and they're just a foot higher than the rest of the fence. And I'm like, oh man, come on.
You heard it here. A free piece of advice. More to be learned at Kiwi School, which is located where in Pennsylvania?
Blairsville, which is 45 minutes east of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, just about.
My last kind of industry question for you guys is one quick tip that can instantly improve somebody's install.
I'm with Noah on this one. You got to over prepare. You don't know what's going to go wrong. You don't know what kind of curveballs your landowner is going to throw at you, or what they're going to want that you maybe didn't anticipate. Because at the end of the day, it's their fence. You're building it, but they have to be happy with it. And so that was a thing that we struggled with, speaking of the logistics for taking stuff to Florida, is what is the landowner going to want for post spacing? Are there obstacles we have to work around? Which there were. We had to avoid some buried water line and some buried electrical and stuff, but you have to over prepare, and you have to be ready to make those last minute changes, because you never know what is going to change or what they are going to want that you didn't even anticipate.
Yeah, 100%. The day you think you have a plan set in stone, you got another thing coming. Always over prepare, take extra materials. You never know. I mean, we ran into the sand soil. I've never built in sand before. We don't have that here. We have clay, we have hard topsoil. We ended up having to sink a driven foot 10 feet in the ground. And we barbed it with brace pins. We sunk staples in it, and we made our own tie wire out of brace cable. And it was one of those things, we brought extra just in case, and we needed it.
I love that. Okay, so something new we've been adding to the show is the rapid fire. We're going to ask you a question. You just pick one of the two very quickly. It doesn't require a lot of thought, Jared. That matter. And actually, Normally, I don't send the rapid fire in the outline, but I was going too fast and accidentally sent it. So,
Gotcha.
both of you answer very quickly: wood fence or wire fence?
I'm a
Wire
wood fence. Oh, well, let me clarify. What are we talking about here?
See, no, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're thinking about in your head, what are you thinking of?
Noah knows that I just overanalyze everything, so he didn't even have to be a part of that conversation earlier to know exactly what you were talking about.
Hand tools or power tools?
Ooh,
Power tools all day long.
yeah. Yep,
Okay.
A fast install or a perfect install?
perfect.
Perfect. I am so
Good answer. Good answer. Favorite fencing tool you can't live without?
Ooh, I love the Strain Right wire cutters, and they're like a staple remover. Code is TFPR on our website if you're interested. They are awesome.
Shameless plug. Love
Yeah,
it.
that's good.
Shameless, I love it.
We're going 2 for 2 on Strainright products here because I am a big fan of the Strainright Pro Crimp. Especially with the high tensile wire, you are putting these little metal crimps on there, and it is, hand tools. You got to do that 1,000 times a day versus just squeezing the trigger on a power tool. I'll take that all day long.
Worst fence spell you've ever seen?
Ooh, that comes back to braces. There's a farm not far from me where every single corner post is ripped clean out of the ground. Nothing's tight. There's posts falling all over the place. And one of these days, I'm just going to stop and ask them if I can fix it because it drives me nuts driving past it almost every single day. But that comes down to the fundamentals. It all comes back to it.
Noah and I went and looked at a fence 2 weeks ago, and probably the biggest fence fail I've ever seen to date. They had H-brace style braces with no horizontal bar at the top to keep them from pulling into each other. So the whole thing was sagging and crippled.
Yeah, I
And
want a work call.
it was just not good.
Oh no.
I thought we
Let's.
So if everybody wants to know, Noah is a volunteer firefighter and may have to leave at any moment now. So this is really exciting. And I give us a thumbs up and we take care of it. But he's like,
As a little sight.
yeah.
If you weren't in fencing, what would you be doing? And I guess we kind of know Noah's, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I make both work, but yeah, this is a close second.
Mine's twofold, because if I wasn't in fencing and I didn't have to make fantastic income, I would just be in agriculture. But everybody knows there's not any money in agriculture right now. But I have my pilot's license, and if I could choose anything else, I would be flying airplanes because that is where it's at.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Question that's not on the list: coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Depends on the day.
That's not the rules, Jared.
Noah's Red Bull that he had in my fridge was looking awful tasty today.
I offered it to you.
That being said, Brian just jumped in the comments. He's leaving tomorrow. He's going to Kiwi School. Is there still space? Can somebody go and sign up right now? How do they get more information? When's the next one?
Yeah, so it's a little close today. With us starting tomorrow, we're kind of shut down for this year, but not to worry. We put one on in the spring and fall every year. So our fall one will be posted probably in the next month or so. We'll have a date lined up for that. I think that's usually in September, November, October, kind of around there, whenever the season starts to wind down. But before it gets frigid cold, we try and squeeze it in.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for coming today. Is there anything else you guys would like to add or talk about with KenCo before we kind of talk about the women of FWA for a quick minute?
I think we're good.
Michaela,
Yeah, we'd love to see each and every one of you do fence school at some point. So make sure you
Yeah.
keep an eye on the KenCo Facebook, and you guys will see that pop up, like he said, twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
What do I got? Women of FWA We're busy. We have a retreat coming up June 11th through the 14th in Branson, Missouri.
How do you
What
sign
else
up?
we got? Oh, you could go to fentshow.com and register. Super easy.
It's really expensive.
You know, it's not actually. It's super affordable. You can get a room, education, and food all included starting at $50. So
$50.
I know.
What else we got going on?
Man, we have the Fed Show and Security Expo coming up in October 5th through 9th.
That was a great discussion we had today also. How do you sign up for the Fin Show?
You can also go to fentshow.com and sign up for that. Fentshow.com, one-stop shop.
It sounds like it's expensive though. I bet there's no hotel room blocks or anything.
You know, we thought of that too. Hotel room blocks, we got you covered. I'm sure there's even a free discount code that Susan has thrown out already. So,
Women of FWA, WFWA 26. Let me go add that in.
you heard it here first. There you go.
That gets you a free Expo Hall pass?
Yeah.
I love it. Wow. We were highly efficient today. I appreciate both of you very much, and Michaela for making this one of my more fun episodes. We would love to have you guys back in the future, especially after your Kiwi school, and we're going to see pictures and tag us somewhere on the internets of the Facebooks in one of your Kiwi school pictures so that we can share it through our networks. Other than that, we got an exciting episode next week. You got to show up to find out more about it. Michaela, you got anything for us?
No. Thanks.
Bye.
Good deal. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.